Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to the Unapologetically Human podcast with Dan Boyven. Today's going to be a quick one. It is a very special day today. It is my mom's birthday. So, this one goes out to my mom and is primarily for her, but I think that many people will get something from the message that I have for her. So I decided for this episode that I was going to write a love letter to my mom and share it. And sometimes when I write, I'm a little bit more artsy and poetic than the way I tend to speak. And I'm a big sappy dork. And Mom, I know you're listening. I love you. I hope you enjoy this. And for whoever else is listening, I hope that you get something of value and insight out of this as well. Dear Mom, I hope this letter finds you well. Exactly 19,724 days ago, you were born into this world. A beautiful baby girl with all the potential in the universe wrapped up in each cell of your tiny little body. I can only imagine what your past life was like in order to accumulate the karma that would set in motion the challenges you were to face in this one. Like, seriously, what did you do? Because it must have been some fucked up shit, Mom. That woman you got me a Reiki session from years ago told me in my past life I was a rich railroad tycoon, drunk with power, and that I hurt a lot of people, which led me to fear my own power in this lifetime. I wonder what's made you fear your own power. Of course, the idea that we carry karma from our past lives is just a speculation, which we can never truly know until death comes to bring us back to wherever we came from. But it's an interesting idea, one that's been debated for millennia. Some people believe that when we die, we choose much of what we're going to experience in our next life, and that it's all in service of our soul's evolution so that one day, once we've experienced all there is to experience, we will finally be born as a child in the dimension of the gods, and to one day create a universe of our own. Something our human minds can't even begin to remotely comprehend. And karma which suggests that we deserve what we experience in this life, both good and bad, which other people believe is a terrible excuse to justify the shitty things people do to each other and the horrors that people are subjected to. I don't really know what I believe, but I'm grateful you chose to let me figure it out for myself as an adult, rather than be baptized into having a set of age-old answers fed to me as a child. It is hard to believe in karma, though. To think for a moment that you deserved the things that you and your brothers had to experience as children is enough to make my skin crawl. You didn't deserve it. Your brothers didn't deserve it. Grandma didn't deserve it. And whatever happened to your dad to turn him into the monster you all had to face, he didn't deserve it either. And none of you deserve to lose your father so young, though from the few details I've heard of him and what you all went through, maybe it was for the best that death came to take him when he did. Because clearly, he needed a pretty serious time out. A friend told me recently she did some healing work where you go back into your memories and you visualize and recreate them to experience your past as if you'd had all the things you needed provided to you when you needed them. As if we could recreate our histories to exclude the troubling moments or how we reacted or responded to them with the tools we had at the time. On one hand, I wish we could. I wish I had the power to snap my fingers and take away all your pain, to remove all of those repressed memories and stuff down emotions you don't know what to do about, and to release them, replacing them with how things should have been, and with lots of empty spaciousness within you for you to feel the lightness, beauty, and inner peace of being alive on this magical journey. But on the other hand, I'm glad I don't have such a power, because the temptation would be too great to play the savior, removing your pain for you and robbing you of the journey to wade through it yourself. For it is through that journey that the greatest strengths, insights, and healing come from. And it is a journey I believe we must all make in our own ways. I've come to learn in recent years that our pain is so intimately tied to our gifts, and that without it, it would be impossible to learn most of life's important lessons or to share those gifts with others. I wonder what gifts still lie dormant within you, waiting to be awoken when the time is right. Dear Mother, I hope this letter finds you well. Exactly 12,202 days ago, I was born into this world. Fuck yeah! Thanks, Mom! A beautiful baby boy with all the potential in the universe wrapped up in each cell of my tiny little body. I've had about 300,000 hours of life to experience, learn, and grow, and still I feel I don't have the words to articulate how much I love you. I'm so grateful that you're my mom and that I got to be born into this world through your creation. I'm grateful for the lessons that you and life have taught me largely through being your son and through coming to understand myself, other people, and our world through the lens of our own family history. The older I get, the more I come to realize just how important communication is in our relationships, and that it's also one of the most challenging things for us to do well, both internally in our relationships with ourselves and externally with those around us. Communication lies at the heart of nearly all of our most fundamental challenges in life. I don't recall how old I was, but I remember that as a young boy, you communicated something to me that would shape the course of my life and the man I continue to become today. You shared the story of your family's history of mental health challenges, of bipolar disorder and addiction, and told me a little bit about your internal experiences of your mind and what happens if you don't take your medication to help with the effects of this condition. Looking back, I wonder how much the stories we tell ourselves can act as self-fulfilling prophecies for our experiences. Like, cool, is that what I have to look forward to? Because that does not sound like fun. But I've always been grateful for you sharing your experiences with me because you prepared me for some of the ways in which my own brain and mind would act inside my head, which also sent me on a journey to understand how our experience of ourselves could be such a challenging thing for so many people. As haphazard as that journey has been for me, I'm so grateful to have had the opportunity to travel it with you through all the challenging and fun times, to learn from you and be supported by you. And I'm excited for what the present and future hold for us as we continue to learn and grow together. Our relationship has always been one of the very most important things to me in my life, Mom. And as I continue to learn and grow, working on my own healing and understanding myself and the things that go on in this head of mine, I feel more and more deeply for you and the things that you've experienced. As I continue on this journey, I feel more and more deeply for the world at large. I know you're a proud mama bear for the man that I've become, and I have so much to thank you for. You have one of the biggest, kindest, and most gentle hearts of anyone I've ever met, and I'm confident that you will continue to learn to let down some of the protective barriers to access it even more. I know all too well from my own experience that your mind may be messy and hard to deal with at times, but I have faith in and believe in your abilities to continue to learn how to show yourself love and compassion as you age with grace and beauty. Our minds are sharp, and it's our ability to love ourselves that keeps its sharp edges from being turned inward and harming ourselves. I'm always here to love you, and don't hesitate to let me know you could use a little extra on those days when loving yourself seems a little bit harder. We all have those days, even if for some of us they're more often than others. Know that I get it and that I know you and I'm here for you. I'm so proud of you for who you are and the things you've overcome in your life, and I'm committed to continuing to support you on your own healing journey. Even though sometimes I mess up and don't communicate it the best. I love you so much, Mom. Happy birthday. 19,724 days might seem like a lot on your 54 revolutions around the sun, but you're still a young lady with lots of life left in you, and I'm quickly closing the gap with my 12,202 days. So here's to many more days, many more revolutions around the sun, many more laughs, many more cries, and a whole lot more love and fun. Love, your baby boy, Daniel-san. Mwah. Love you, Mom. See? I told you guys, I get a little artsy fartsy sometimes. I could have just wrapped that all up into one line. Because boys to men, they said it best. Mama, Mama, you know I love you. Okay, come on, you got this.